I called the people at head of security at Portland, Maine, and I said, why does it have two timelines? And why does it have one right in the middle of the shot where you at least want numbers if you were trying to identify someone? I don't know, she said. I said, do you think you could ask? Do you think you could look at the tape and call me back? She says, oh no, the FBI took that tape away on the morning of 9/11 and we've not seen it again. Of course, that was put in because in the newspapers that's what the framing was. And it hid the fact that, as one person said, they were so late they were spitting bullets or spitting blood or something. There is no evidence this guy got on the plane. No evidence whatsoever, freaking ever, including the fact that none of them were on the list of passengers. This is Abdulaziz Al-Amouri, who's supposed to have been but wasn't the night before 9/11. He looks like he's going to kill himself the next day, doesn't he? Yeah, but that's not Al-Amouri, that's Al-Amouri. This is a Saudi airline pilot who was sitting in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and heard on the news that he just hijacked a bloody plane in America. He went into the American consulate there and said, I think there might be a mistake, I think there might be. But they've never changed the names. They said that this guy, Lotfi Raisi, had helped them to learn how to fly the planes, not very well. They said that he was an Islamic extremist. They put him in Belmarsh prison. They tried to take him to America. And they said he was an Islamic extremist when he's married to a French white Roman Catholic. Yeah, it all fits. It's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. And the people here, rubbish, rubbish. What most of them are claimed to have done. And that's why they're having to let them out now, slowly. These people are completely untrustworthy, wouldn't know the truth if it bit them on the arse. And the same with the Twin Towers, again, taken away by controlled demolition appropriately. When you look at the controlled demolition pictures, they're available everywhere, lots of programs about them. At the point where the explosives goes off, there is an outward puff of smoke as the charges go. That is exactly what you see on the Twin Towers before they started to fall. In all these things, it's classically what happened to the Twin Towers. Controlled demolition. Look at that one in the middle on the left there. What you see on in that building is what you saw when the Twin Towers started to fall. These are some buildings that fell due to structural failure. They don't go straight down on themselves. They don't turn to dust. And the speed that the towers fell was the speed of free fall, without any resistance. Free fall speed. Why? Because there was nothing to resist. Because they were taken out by explosives. Because that was the classic mind-imposing, mind-programming vision of 9/11. That would be in the public mind to use problem reaction solution to justify the outcome. This guy, William Rodriguez, maintenance man at the World Trade Center, he was a hero after 9/11 because all the people he got out and the heroic things he did, pictured with George Bush. The moment he came out and said actually bombs were going off at the bottom of the building before the building fell, and people with him said yes they were, then suddenly he becomes persona non grata. They took his job away and tried to destroy the guy. He's actually taken them to court and issued a lawsuit against them for being involved in 9/11, people like Cheney and Bush and others. This guy, Larry Silverstein, he bought the whole of the World Trade Center just before 9/11, and he put massively increased insurance on it, which is being paid out. And he said he owned this building called Building 7 on the World Trade Center complex. And he said on television in an interview that the authorities came to him on 9/11 and said the building is in such a bad state we want to pull it. In other words, pull it, we want to controlled demolish it. And he agreed, and they said it was pulled. Here's Building 7, here's all the telltale charges coming out that demolished Building 7. Now there's a question here. If you've ever seen these programs where they pull buildings of that size, they don't go and put the charges in a few hours. Sometimes it takes days to put them in the right places so it falls as it did. On 9/11, they pulled this building in next to no time. Why? Because it was charged already. In Building 7 was a state-of-the-art command center which had been recently built at a cost of $13 million at the instruction of Mayor Giuliani, and a guy I had a long conversation with called, he's a German, former German defense minister called Andreas von Bülow, and he has come out publicly and said he's certain that 9/11 was orchestrated from the command center in Building 7, and the reason they pulled it was to destroy the evidence of what happened. I think he's not far from the truth. Mayor Giuliani, buy a used car, wouldn't buy a new one, mate. I won't go into that. So the whole kind of story of 9/11 is full of holes because it's not true. And the media, despite these holes, continue to parrot the official version of everything. As a result of it, the secret agenda can impose its Orwellian state while the movie tells us it's to protect us. Sums it up, Anglo-American special relationship. Will you lie first or shall I? And so you keep the old black and white. You're either with us or you're against us. You're with us or you're for the terrorists. You ignore the fact that there was great grief and support from the Islamic world for what happened, because this is what you're after. This is the Nazi technique. Why, of course, the people don't want war. Why should some poor slob on a farm want to risk his life in a war when the best he can get out of it is to come back to his farm in one piece? Naturally, the common people don't want war, neither in Russia, nor in England, nor for that matter in Germany. That is understood. But after all, it is the leaders of the country who determine the policy, and it is always a simple matter to drag the people along, whether it is a democracy or a fascist dictatorship. Voice or no voice, the people can always be brought to the bidding of the leaders. That is easy. All you have to do is tell them they are being attacked and denounce the peacemakers for their lack of patriotism and exposing the country to danger. It works the same in any country. Hermann Göring. And that's what they're doing now. Abraham Lincoln said, public sentiment is everything. With public sentiment, nothing can fail. Without it, nothing can succeed. He who molds public opinion is greater than he who enacts the laws. He might have said, and he who molds public opinion can enact whatever laws he wants. Problem, reaction, solution. Control of the public mind.